Hello and welcome to Business Matters, a program produced by the Middlesex West Chamber of Commerce in conjunction with Acton TV. I'm your host, Jonathan Kerr, Executive Director of the Middlesex West Chamber of Commerce. Business Matters is a program which features chamber members and highlights information important to the businesses in the Middlesex community. And today we're doing something a little different, where we go behind the cameras to see how Acton TV functions. And I'm here with Executive Director Marc Duci. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, John?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent.
So how did you come to be at Acton Television?
Oh, well, I went to school for communications, film and video at Fitchburg State, and back in 2003 I got a job at a local access center in Lowell, LTC, and I was there for about 12 years. I ended up the municipal programming director. And I saw that Acton TV had a position open up for executive director, and I thought that would be, the next step in my progression through the access channels, and so I applied for the job and I got it, and here I am in Acton.
Excellent,
So,
nice.
yeah.
So what's the history about Acton Television?
So Acton TV, before it was Acton TV, it was actually run by Comcast, and we were based out of the high school. And back in 2010, Acton TV was formed, 501c3 nonprofit. And back then is when we decided, okay, the school is just far too small. It was like like a closet compared to where we are now. We needed bigger space. Right. We needed a bigger studio. So the search was on. We needed to find a place in Acton, and this space here on Craig Road, which is around 5,000 square feet, worked perfect. It was a good size. It had high ceilings for the lights, the lighting grid, and we ended up moving here, leasing the space back in 2010. So it's been about 8 years since we've moved here, and we love it. It's a great place. We have a beautiful studio with 3 different sets, and yeah, I love it.
Nice. And are you renting the facility here, the space?
We're leasing it. So we have our landlords are actually next door to us, and so yes, we are leasing the space.
So how is that funded? How is the television in general, the Acton TV, funded?
It's a good question. Actually, we have a lot of people who think that their tax dollars is what funds us, which is actually not the case. We're funded through what's called a franchise fee on cable bill. So if you are a subscriber to Comcast, which is the cable provider here in Acton, then part of what you pay is on your bill, and you'll see it, franchise fee. That actually is what comes to us, and that's really how we are funded. Mostly, we do solicit sponsorships, and we do have a small membership fee. But about 95% of the money that we get in is through these franchise fees. So if you are a subscriber to Comcast, you are essentially helping to fund us here in this great space.
Okay, so you mentioned membership. What does that mean as far as?
Yeah, so members here, and to become a member, it's very easy. It's if you live in Boxborough or Acton, it's a $25 fee. If you're outside of there, it's $75. But it's a yearly fee. It's very small, and that's just to help us maintain, keeping updated with equipment and things like that. But a member here gets access to this studio to use all the facilities, and we also have a lot of equipment, including cameras, lighting equipment, microphones, tripods, all sorts of stuff that a member can use to produce their own video segments, their own TV shows. We also offer our expertise as a staff. We have 4 full-time staff members, and we're all essentially producers. So we can help produce videos for you. And if you've got an idea for a show that you'd like to do, you can come in and we can help give you ideas. You can use our space and produce your own show that will then air on the local channels here. And we have 3 local channels. It's called PEG Access. And if you've never heard of it, it stands for Public Education and Government. So the public channel, which is more for, a typical resident comes in and wants to do a show, puts that on the public channel. The education consists of a lot of the school-related things, school committee meetings, a lot of the local sports that we cover, graduations, anything produced by schools is an educational, and then government is just what it sounds like, the town meetings, the selectmen meetings. A lot of the stuff that is more politically based would be found on our government channel. So we do a lot of the production ourselves, but we also offer that capability for our members.
Right, and you do a lot of off-site as well.
Yeah,
It's,
yep.
you know, everything from the football games to obviously going to town meetings, that kind of thing. So can people like use the gear if they're a member and produce something at, say, their home or something like that?
Yeah, we've had members from all over the place, you know, come in and do shows. We had one of our members actually take a camera and use it on their cross-country tour, and come back and put together a great show about, you know, the different places they visited along the way. So yeah, we have you know, whatever your mind can think of. And in fact, our mission statement is that we provide the facilities, the equipment, and the expertise to allow for free speech and inspire creative expression. So we're all about free speech, and we're all about inspiring people to really visually put together what they have, you know, in their minds to kind of show other people, you know, some of their creative side.
Nice, and the creativity, I'm thinking, you know, you've got a lot of youth programs as well.
Yeah.
Everything from camps to...
Yep, we're trying to get the youth more involved in video production. We have a camp that we do a few times a year for kids ages 10 to 13. It's a week-long, not just in the summer, but we also do it during school vacation weeks. And then we have a Saturday program called the AB Youth Media Project, where it's junior high and high school. So we really have stuff for young kids, you know, older kids, and it's been really popular. We've gotten a really good response from the kids and the parents. They seem to really love it, and it's just getting more and more popular.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. So you've got a lot going on.
We do.
Nice. And you got a great studio.
Thank you. Yeah. Are you interested in taking a tour?
I'd love to take a tour.
All right. Yeah. Come on. Let's go for a tour.
Sounds good.
We're pretty lucky. We actually have 3 different sets here in our studio, and we just came from our more traditional theater set with the staging and the colored lights. This is where most of our shows take place. We don't have a whole lot of set pieces. We don't have a big storage prop room.
Right.
But you know what we do have is pretty good. It's adequate, and we encourage people who are doing their own shows to bring in props as well. Now over here we have one of our newest sets, our virtual set, and this is really cool. The kids love it.
Yeah.
We can essentially put you in front of anything. You know, if you ever watch the news with the weatherman sitting in front of the big weather map, that's what this is. We've had at some of the kids' camps, we've had Harry Potter battles. We had them riding roller coasters.
Nice.
And if you look over here, it's just a green wall and a green floor with some set pieces in front. But then as you walk over here and you actually see it on the monitor,
we're in Washington,
you can
D.C.
see, we're standing here in front of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And it's pretty cool. Again, we have a number of our shows that do use the virtual set, and we put them in Boston skyline backdrop, and we have like different seasons that we'll use. We have an astrology show with the planets in the background, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You've got quite a footprint here too. This is a pretty big size,
It
like
is
a green screen.
Yeah,
so.
it's big. We've got this whole wall painted, so we've got a lot of space, and you kind of need a lot of space when you have something like this.
Nice.
So, and then our third set is, we're one of the few access centers that actually has a full kitchen set.
Look at that.
So this is not only is it the staff kitchen, but it's also a set for cooking shows, and we do a number of cooking shows.
Okay.
There are not a whole lot of access centers that have something like this. So we've actually gotten people from all over the place coming here to do these shows.
Wow.
We got somebody from Needham who comes in here. We have someone from up in around the Manchester, New Hampshire area that comes down here to do a show.
That's a bit of a trek, yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the nice things about it is being on the crew for this, we get to eat all the food, which is really nice.
It's the bennies to it.
But it's we were very lucky. We had a lot of the equipment donated to us by a couple like really cool local sponsors. One of them was Hudson Appliance, the others Kitchen Outfitters, and they helped us put all this together, which is great. And this is an induction stovetop, which is pretty neat. I've never seen one except for here. Runs on magnets, which is really neat.
Really?
It does.
I never.
So we've got this great space, and then our control room is where the director sits and controls the production of the shows. So back here, this is our control room, and We have a couple of our staff members. This is Rick Degon, he's our studio manager. And over there is George Cox, he's our production coordinator and host of Talk of the Town, which is one of our regular shows, bi-weekly shows. We do a show called Talk of the Town, and what it is, it's a show that kind of shows off event coverage, different local business spotlights, department head updates, just things going on around Acton. And George helps put that together.
Nice.
It's a really good show. But back here, you can see Rick is directing, George is running audio and graphics, and so this is where the production happens, is back here. So all the work that you see on TV is being controlled by these guys back here. Now, the one person on our staff, we have 4 staff members that you can't see, is Pat Snow. He's our programming and training coordinator, and he's actually running the camera right now, so thank you for doing that, Pat. So now, from here, oh, actually, one thing that's really cool is we have this space back here.
Right.
Now, we don't have a true green room for guests, so what happens is when a guest comes in here to be on a show, they'll sit back here and they'll get to see the production going on before they actually go out to the set.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you a behind-the-scenes look before you actually go out and do what we're doing right now, which is pretty neat. So now let's head over to the next area.
All right.
Now over here, this is our conference room / classroom / editing room. We have our board meetings here. A lot of other meetings happen here, take place here.
Okay.
We also teach a number of classes. We teach anything from Photoshop and editing to field production, and this is where the classes happen here. And then we don't have any real editing suites, so we use this space to do some of our editing. In fact, we have one of our members here. This is Aruna, and she's working on a project right now. One of her, she does a show called Cultural Nepal, and so she's working on one of her shows right now. It's a really good show. You should check it out on ActonTV.org or on our YouTube channel.
So, looks like you got a lot going on here all the time.
We do, yeah.
How would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to be a member, or if they wanted to sponsor, a program or the station, any of those options?
Yeah, so ActonTV.org is the best place to go. We have all of our information. We have our television schedule. We have membership forms, so you can sign up online right through there. All of our shows are on demand. You can also find that all on our website. But if they want to go there, they can also call us at 978-263-6033. We have a YouTube channel, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter feed, so we're very social media friendly. But we love having people come in for tours to check us out. We're at 16A Craig Road in Acton, so if you wanted to even just come by and just take a tour, we'd be happy to do that. And yeah, it's we're always looking for sponsors. That's another thing that if interested in becoming a sponsor, we have a lot of great sponsorship opportunities, studio sponsorships, football sponsorships. We do a lot with sponsors, and they're really, honestly, they're necessary. We really appreciate all those sponsorships because we couldn't do a lot of what we do without them.
Right. Right. And thank you so much for all that you guys do for the Chamber. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I think it's been a great partnership.
I agree. It's wonderful, and thank you so much for taking us behind the scenes.
Sure.
So it's great to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Welcome back to Business Matters. I'm here in Westford with Catherine of Catherine Pfau Photography. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, John?
I'm doing very good. So what can you tell us about how you got here with your amazing studio, vaulted ceilings, plenty of space, and all of that kind of stuff? It's a great environment. How did you come about this place?
Yeah, it's a kind of interesting place. It's an old manufacturing building, and I'll take you for a little tour later on.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, and I heard about it through another photographer, and there was space available. So here I am 2 years later. So
Excellent.
It's worked out great.
Excellent. So what do you primarily do here?
So I do portraits here. I love to take portraits of people, and this is the perfect spot for it.
Why is that important? Why are portraits important for people to have?
So portraits are just, I think it's probably the most important thing you can do for yourself and your family. And you're creating a legacy when you have a portrait taking. And I always, even when I was younger, I thought, if I ever had a fire in my house, the first thing I would save are my pictures.
Right. Everybody would run to the mantle.
Right, yeah. So to me, it really has a place of value. And I believe through it, we create a legacy. And because the moment that we have now with our families, friends, relatives, grandparents, it may never happen again. We may never be with these people again. You just never know. And to have something physical that you can always look back on and just remember that moment and remember your kids when they were just born or 2 years old and they're 40 and 50 now.
Right.
It's really an amazing thing. So the other thing is, I believe we should all exist in portraits too. In this digital age, people think, oh, it's on my phone, it's on my phone, I have pictures. But our children, our grandchildren, may never have the pleasure of looking at their picture on the wall or feeling that portrait in their hand of their grandparent. So I think it's really important now more than ever before to exist in portraits.
Right. So it sounds like you do family portraitry. What other kind of portraits do you do, or other examples of photography?
Yeah. So I do family portraits, definitely. I started out doing newborns, and I added families to it. And I especially love doing intergenerational portraits. I always felt like the grandparents were a little left out. So to me, it's really important to include grandparents and for them, but yet as the children get older, just they know who the grandparents are. So they'll always have a picture of them with the grandparents, and they'll know, oh, I'm part of this family. And as they see it on the wall, they can walk by, and you just know that it's not just me. You know, I have other people here looking out, and I'm part of something. So I just think it's a really wonderful thing for a child to have. I also do headshots. I do what I call personal branding. So every business now has to have visual marketing, and it's become another thing that's become so important. And you have to have professional photos. You have to have really good pictures to go on your website, so people will continue looking at your website. If you have just pictures of your iPhone or from your iPhone, it may not give that professional feeling, and people can sense that automatically.
Right.
Yeah.
So somebody wants to sign up for a booking. What happens then?
So the most important thing when I have a new client or somebody shows an interest, I sit down with them, hopefully in person, and I ask them a lot of questions. So the first thing is, who do you want to be photographed with? Sometimes people don't think of that. They think, oh, I want a portrait. Well, who do you want to include? Do you want to take it by yourself, which is great? Do you want to have your mother, your father, your sister, a mother-daughter portrait? Do you want your spouse, your boyfriend? Do you want a picture for dating? You know, there's many options. And so I photograph sometimes people with their dogs. Right. Because a lot of people have dogs and they're part of the family. You have to include them.
It's a big thing in this day and age now.
That's
Even
right.
getting little outfits on them and everything. So what is the experience like when they do that and end up coming here and all that?
Yeah, so the experience, I like to call it a Vanity Fair type portrait session. And what I mean by that is I call it contemporary portraits.
Okay.
It is an experience. It's a whole day. So you come in, and this is probably more important for the ladies, but so women will come in and have a full hair and makeup session.
Oh, wow.
I have a professional makeup artist come in, and I'll show you the space later on where I have that done. So they'll come in, they'll have their hair, their makeup done, and if they bring a friend or a sister or a couple sisters, they'll do it all together, and it's really fun. It's amazing. You just feel great afterwards. And then we go into the portrait session, and there they have a choice of gowns they can wear. They can look casual, they can look glam, however they want it to look. It's very customized. So then we spend some time just doing the portraits. We'll do some alone, we'll do some with the family. Again, it really depends on what we've talked about ahead of time as far as the look that they want, who they want to be with, and how they want to be photographed.
So what are some of your products?
Some of my products, you know what, I'm going to show you, John.
Okay, sounds great. Alrighty.
So this is where I have hair and makeup done. We have a makeup section right here. So people come in here, and the makeup artist is here, and they have their hair and makeup done right here. And so here's some of my products.
Okay.
And so I have some beautiful folio box, and these are handmade in Italy. beautiful matted pictures that come in here.
Oh, nice.
And this is similar, but this is like a framed portrait, but you
Okay.
can put 10, 20 images inside here too.
Okay, so you
it's a-
provide the whole package there, so the picture, the framing, the matting and everything?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are just some of the images in here.
So who do you
And then-
photograph? You know, it's...
So I photograph all ages. I photograph, and it's really everyday people. Some people think, oh, you use models, and I don't, because I believe that every person has an amazing amount of beauty inside them, and they don't see it.
Right.
They don't see how other people see them. So it's not just physical beauty. I think beauty comes from inside, and that's what I try to capture, and that's what I can find when I work with people. People tell me it's a transformative experience, and a lot of people, women in particular, would tell me, I'm 20 pounds too heavy, I can't do it, I have nothing to wear, I don't know. And they come in here, get their hair and makeup done, they're a little nervous at first, and then they start warming up, and they love it, especially when they see the pictures. They look at it and some of them cry because they cannot believe that it's so beautiful, and they are so beautiful. So it's an experience, and it really transforms the way people look at themselves.
Nice.
Yeah, so I love doing it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can tell. Takes the passion.
And here's a book. This is a little baby book.
Okay.
So,
Look at
yeah, a family, and this comes in a nice box. So,
nice.
yeah.
And you do, I mean, you're not just all here in the studio as well. You do location
Exactly.
shoot. I know you've done a number of things for the Chamber, any of our events.
Right.
You know, and people can see those pictures on our Facebook page and on the website as well.
Right,
So
right.
you do a lot of
Yeah,
other
so
as
in
well.
addition to the studio, I do some outdoor work too. I have an outdoor studio in Bolton in the fall,
Okay.
especially. Or I go to people's homes. For example, this woman she was 94 at the time. She's a little older now. This is in their yard.
Okay.
And her daughter, who's in her 50s, wanted a portrait of herself and her mother.
Oh.
And that's one of my favorite people. Two of my
Very
favorite
colorful.
people, yeah.
She's got that shirt with all the
Right,
colors.
right.
And the lighting is
And
amazing.
here's one that was in my outdoor studio in Bolton of a family, because I love the colors in Bolton and any place at this time of year. So, yeah.
Nice.
And then there's some other portraits of studio shots too. So I do a mix. There's a mix of work, yeah.
Quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a number of setups here in the studio as well. Do you want to show us any of those, or?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
It looks like you've well utilized the space.
Right, so this area is predominantly where I shoot, and there are two areas where we can photograph. We can set up any way that we want, and it works out well.
Nice.
The
Yeah. Got a little hardwood floor over here, and
yeah.
got some
Yeah,
camera gear there.
and we have great windows too. We have beautiful window light
Right.
that I can utilize. I shouldn't say we, but
How many rooms
yeah.
do you have?
Well, it's really the space. I'll show you the rest. The other thing I wanted to mention while we were in here is I do have a selection of dresses and gowns that people can choose from too.
Okay.
And this is for the people who have nothing to wear. But those people usually come in with 10 different outfits.
Right.
So,
Oh, nice. Nice. And a little changing room, it looks like.
right, yes.
Excellent.
So our tour continues through here.
Alrighty. Wow.
So this was an old gear manufacturing factory back in the 1850s. And it was in business for quite a while. In fact, there's a ledger book out in the back from 1922, and I'll show you that. But you can see some of the old machinery from the gear
Right.
factory. This is some kind of a gear hoist, and there are leather belts that are still on it. If you look over on this section, you see the leather belts? So what that did was enable them to lift all these heavy, and the gears were made of wood at that time. So there's like an elevator shaft in the back where they could haul the gears up and down using this hoist.
Wow, so you can get a very industrial feel, you know, for your photos, or juxtaposed feel.
Absolutely.
Because, speaking of that, there is a tub sitting here.
You never know when you're going to need a tub.
Absolutely. So, and you got light coming in. It's quite fascinating, actually.
Right, right. So this is a great corner for photographs. Beautiful light coming in. And
just the old the wall work, and
right.
an old plaster and stone mix.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some more artifacts from the manufacturing company.
I don't suppose we know what this is.
That
looks
we
like
don't.
a drill press.
Yeah.
They might have missed a few times.
Right, right. Yeah. This I
Do
don't
you
know.
usually ever have anybody sit on this to get a picture?
You know what? That's a good idea. Why don't you come in sometime and we'll
Try it out, make sure it doesn't go this way.
right.
Thank you for watching Business Matters. I want to thank our guests today, Acton TV and Catherine Pfau Photography. We do have a big event coming up. It's our annual awards gala on April 25th. If you'd like to find out more information about that or get tickets, or if you'd like to find out information about becoming a chamber member, feel free to look us up at mwcoc.com. You can find all that information, and we'll see you next month on Business Matters.